My Lord and my God, I firmly believe that you are here, that you see me, that you hear me. I adore you with profound reverence. I ask your pardon for my sins and grace to make this time of prayer fruitful. My Immaculate Mother, Saint Joseph, my Father and Lord, my guardian angel, intercede for me. In the last number of years, probably since 2020, there's been a big resurgence of chess content on YouTube, the internet, other media. Chess has really taken off through some different media portrayals and people getting reinterested in the game and trying to get better. It's one of those games that is purely skill-based, one of the only games that's purely skill-based, so there's no luck because there's not like a deck of cards or the rolling of dice. Chess is purely skill-based. And on account of that, a number of chess teachers on YouTube teach the principle that at the early stages, when someone's learning, when they're growing, that they should never resign, right? Never quit the game until it's all the way over. At the highest levels of the great grandmasters, they may resign when they know that their position is lost, and what more, they know that their opponent knows that the position is completely lost. But at the lower levels, people just getting started, they say never quit, never resign, stay in it all the way to the end. Make the opponent put you into checkmate, because you never know. Something may go terribly wrong. Maybe you played poorly and you lost some of your important pieces, but if you're playing someone who's about equal strength with you, then they may do the same. They may lose some of their important pieces. So don't quit. Hang in there until the very end. Never resign. Well, this principle of never giving up until the very end, I think, is important and central to the gospel we have for this Sunday of the laborers in the vineyard, where the master goes out to hire various laborers for his vineyard, and he goes right at the beginning of the day, and he hires some right at the beginning, and then he goes out at the third hour, we hear, then again at the sixth hour and the ninth hour, and then finally he goes out at that last hour of the day, the 11th hour, and he still finds some who are standing idle, and he invites them into the vineyard. And this idea of the 11th hour, it's the last little bit of the day, and it's in that they're invited in to work in his vineyard, and it ends up that they're paid as if they had worked the whole day. They're paid a full daily wage. Jesus, it could be very easy for us at a certain point to maybe check out or to resign, and we can write off certain times of the day or certain aspects of spirituality, and it could be very easy to just want to say that we've done what we can and it's already late in the day and we'll try again tomorrow. That if we can just we'll come back to this tomorrow. We'll deal with it tomorrow. And that's not how you want us to live, Jesus. That's not what relationship with you is like. You are able to enter into a relationship with us and to make big progress even at that last hour of the day. And this is your generosity to us. And so we need to have the mentality to hang in there, to never quit, that we want to go all the way to the end. We want to stay faithful. When I was in seminary, I was on a retreat. It was a long retreat. It went, as far as those things go, from Sunday afternoon all the way until Saturday noontime. So it was a full, solid 7 days. And I remember the priest preaching on Friday evening. So we're in the last 24 hours of the retreat. And he was saying some people may have had great retreat experiences so far. Some of them, maybe when we got there on Sunday afternoon, just entered right in with the Lord. But that there may be others who it's been a more difficult time and prayer has been a little bit hard to come by and hard to enter into. And that we shouldn't give up hope for those 11th hour graces, that we never want to pack up and go home early. And on a retreat, we don't want to pack up and go home early, that it's Friday night, I'm going home tomorrow morning, and so this is already basically over. No. Jesus, when you're on the field, the game's never over until the very last minute. That you play all the way to the end. And that you invite us to do the same, to stay ready. And if you've asked us to be patient and to hang in there and to be willing to jump in the last minute, then that's great. What a blessing. And thank you for that, Jesus. Sometimes we jump right in first thing in the morning at that, first hour of the day, but other times you want us waiting. You want us to be patient and to be trusting. And that's a virtue that we need, particularly the virtue of hope. That we can hang in there with hope, with optimism, that our struggle isn't over until the very end. And even if we haven't had a lot of success, that if we stay with you, if we stay consistent, that you can bring about great things. And that can happen in any number of areas of our life. And so it very well may be the end of a day, that if we get up early, 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, and now we're at the end of the day, and it's tired, and we've had dinner, and we've done our chores, and now there's just an hour or a half hour even left of the day, and I haven't really done all my prayers today. Forget it. I'll leave them till tomorrow. I can watch a YouTube video or two, and then eventually fall asleep. Well, no, Jesus, we want to hang in there. And even if it's been a long day, we can still try to enter into that time of prayer if you invite us into that at the end of a long day. And maybe if we haven't had a lot of success praying all day long, then even those last 10 or 15 minutes of the day, you can invite us in and great things can happen, as if we'd had a whole day just dedicated to you, if we just give those last few minutes. Similarly, at the end of maybe a class period, if we're in school and, those last couple minutes until the bell rings and the teacher's still going on, it can be easy to say, the bell's going to ring any minute. I'm going to close up my notebook. I'm going to move on. Well, no, I'm going to go all the way to the end, Jesus, because this thing that's said in the last minute, that may be the most important. That may be the thing that you need me to hear. And so I'm gonna stay there. I'm going to be waiting. I'm going to stay faithful, because maybe in that very last minute, you are calling me to some greatness. And there could be that chance for an 11th hour grace, or maybe at the end of a podcast. Here we are, Jesus, spending these 10 minutes with you, and we're not down to the last minute. We've maybe got about a minute and a half left, but we're getting close to the end. And so let me check out, and I'll just queue up what comes next, because maybe at the end of these times of prayer and listening with the podcast, the last couple minutes are just trying to land the plane. And so I'm not going to pay attention. No, Jesus, even here there's an opportunity to engage. And maybe if I didn't spend this 10 minutes with you well, I'm going to get at least 1 minute well. I've got that last chance. I'm going to get my 1 minute to just be with you, or my 30 seconds to be with you. I'm going to hang in there all the way to the end. Jesus, when it comes to my prayer, I'm not going to resign. I'm not going to quit. I'm going to stay ready, optimistic, all the way to the end. That's the fidelity that you call me to. That trusting, waiting, hopeful optimism. Jesus, that's what it means to really be your disciple, to be always ready. If you call us in at the last minute, you invite us to go work, then great. We're gonna run right with it. If you give us a grace, an inspiration, a good resolution, we're not gonna wait till tomorrow. We could start working for holiness tomorrow. No, Jesus, right now. Today. Now. Nunc cepi. I begin right now. And so Jesus, help us to always be open to these 11th hour graces, these last minute opportunities when such great things can flourish in our soul. We ask our Mother to pray for us, to always be docile, available, and open. I thank you, my God, for the good resolutions, affections, and inspirations which you have communicated to me in this meditation. I ask your help in putting them into effect. My Immaculate Mother, Saint Joseph, my Father and Lord, my guardian angel, intercede for me.